So I am in the army and I was married. I was approaching my first deployment to Iraq. It was very stressful and it had my wife wanting me to find a way to stay and not deploy. Obvious things any wife would try to talk about. Anyway, so we have no kids, but both want them. So we talk about getting out of debt while I'm gone. She talks to her best friend back home in another state where we are both from. Her friend agrees to let her move in and charge a modest $300 in rent so that we can get out of debt and start a family when I come back. A plan I was actually very pleased with. I deploy. She is there crying her eyes out, saying she will miss me and loves me, and we will start a family when we get back. Fast forward 2 months. She starts acting distant, not wanting to talk much on our scheduled calls or text back 1 or 2 word answers. We've been together 6 years. She is never at a loss for words. Anyway, one day she says, I need some space. She asks someone who is 10,000 miles away for space. I say why. She says she just needs space. She wants to find herself. So I remember back when we lived at home, she had a guy who was always being borderline inappropriate. I'm not a very jealous person, and I trust her. So I start seeing said guy on in basically all her pictures she posts with a group. Every time he is in the picture, everyone else changes, but never him. So for the first time, I'm very jealous and uneasy about everything. So I clone her phone so I receive every text she receives, as well as every text she sends. I'll never forget the first text I saw after cloning her phone. Hey babe, I'll see you after work. Want me to save you any of my leftovers? From her to him. It destroyed me. I lost 35 pounds in a week. I didn't eat or sleep. I stared at the phone watching every conversation, watching them talk about trying to have a baby. It was literally everything a married person fears. I ask her if she is seeing someone and she says no, she isn't. She is taking care of herself and she loves me, blah blah. I don't say anything about receiving her texts for 2 months. Over this time she finally admits cheating and that he is so much better than me at sex, treating her right, and he does what she wants. During this time she pays our debt off, gets tattoos with him, matching I love you tattoos, goes to shows with him, buying clothes ECT with the money I'm making. So this is where revenge starts. I put a freeze on the account for a month. In that time, I change every password to every account to things she won't guess, army jargon slang terms. I block her on FB and my phone so she has no way to contact me. She lost her car to repo a few months later, got kicked out of her place, had to sell her prized shoes and purses just to stay alive. I then find out she got a job at her old restaurant, so I post all the text conversations I have with her and the guy talking about having babies that have timestamps on it, as well as post conversations we had with the matching timestamps showing all of our friends what she has done. I then have friends call and complain at her job constantly on both he and her. They work at a restaurant, so I also have friends dine and dash. They both get fired. So she tries to call my command and tell them that I am abandoning her and she can't provide for herself. My commander knows what is going on. He does nothing because he had something similar happen. Then, about a month before I come back, she calls me from another number to tell me she is pregnant with his kid. Mind you, I'm still gone, so we cannot get divorced yet. She moved away with him, 10 hours from me. April 24th, 2018. She calls me 5 months pregnant, crying uncontrollably, asking me where she should go. Apparently they have a giant blow-up fight. She tells him she is leaving. She says she doesn't know where to go. And I simply say, sorry, not my problem anymore. Fast forward January of this year. She calls me from a mutual friend's phone. Her. He hit me. IDK what to do. Me. Maybe you don't cheat on your husband when he is deployed for some guy who talks a big game. Her. Well, I guess you are happy about this. Me. No, but I'm glad I know I'm not the bad guy in this story. And then the next month. Her. He is cheating on me with 2 girls. I'm sorry. I regret everything I did. I fucked it all up. Me. Yay, you did. All in all, this woman destroyed my life. Put me into a deep depression I'm still dealing with. but I do feel a little better having proof that I wasn't the problem. To think if this happened even 10 or 5 years ago, I would have come back to an empty bank account, an empty house, as well as seeing my then wife pregnant with another man's baby. She actually hit me up yesterday to ask for some money to help cover rent. Edit. Answer a few questions. I realised I left out that we got divorced before the kid was born, so I have no financial responsibility to her, haven't now for almost a year. I mainly use T-Mobile's Digit service to clone the phone. Google it, I don't feel like typing it. Also no, I wasn't celebrating that she was physically abused. I did tell her to call the cops, but that's all I did. It's not right to abuse someone, but I also have no responsibility to watch out for her well-being. Top comments. That reminds me of a talk I had with my ex. We had been long distance for a while, and I had also broken up because she cheated. And then she emailed me desperate to get back with me. She had also done a lot of other shit she had always denied, like stole from me, which I could never prove, and she never admitted doing. She was basically out on the street at this point, since she stole from the people she lived with, as I later found out, though I had already suspected exactly that, and desperate to find someone who would take her in, pay for her groceries, etc. But she had burned many bridges, and the only people who might take her in, her parents, had just gotten on a trip around the world and were unreachable for at least 2 months, so she needed a place to stay till then. So I let her talk, tell me the whole woe is me parade, and did only write back, "Keep going, I am still waiting for you to something specific," every time I got a new mail. Finally, she had told me everything that had happened since she left me, but I still said, "Keep going. This is still not what I want to hear from you." So she tried begging, but that did not work. Then she tried to make me horny and remind me of the fantastic sex we had, even send me a couple nudes. But she always only got from me, "Keep going." Finally, she realised manipulation would not work, so she started admitting all the things she had ever done, including stealing from me and exactly what she stole. I did not expect that, but it was awesome. Some of it was jewellery from my mother, which had me beyond pissed. But there were other people who could have done it, so despite being pretty sure it was her, I could never really accuse her. No, she gave it to me black and white. A full confession, including who she sold it to and everything, but she still only got "keep going." No, she was really starting to get desperate, so she started to apologise for everything shitty she had ever done to me, or people I cared about. Keep going. Finally, she flipped and explained. She does not know what I want from her. She confessed everything. She apologised for everything. She told me everything. So what the hell am I waiting for? At this point, I decided that the game is over, so I told her. All I wanted the whole time is that you tell me 2 things. How the hell any of this is my problem? A good enough reason to let her back into my life after everything. But all she had given me all night was reasons why I never want her anywhere near me again, or near anybody I care about. But I decided to see to it that she will have a place to stay till her parents come back, but not anywhere near me, and told her so. She was really glad I would do this for her. I asked her where exactly she is, so I know where to find her when I found a place for her to stay. Then I went to the police because of the jewellery. The theft was already a case for the police, and now I had a full confession, and told them where to find her. Since she had no address, they kept her in jail till she had her day in court. I also went there as a witness, and boy was she pissed I led the cops to her. I just grinned and said, "Hey, I said I would see to it you have a place to stay till your parents are back, and I kept that promise. You even got 3 meals a day." Second comment I think qualifies as nuclear revenge, but all of it was justified. I have never been cheated on, but I've had people who I trusted backstab me, so I know the feeling of being used. This woman deserved everything that happened to her. I wish you nothing but the best and hope you have a good rest of your life. Third comment, I'm sorry you went through this, from one vet to another, but I am happy to have read this. Change your number, cut all contact from her. You didn't have any kids with her, so finish the divorce and dump that bitch. Take this as a hard lesson and don't repeat it. Understand you're not an exception. Well, any woman as a matter of fact, could do this to anyone. What's more, not only could they, but they will, and do all the time. Stay strong, brother. Hope things get better now that cunt is no longer in the picture with you.